The last service. Item number. SCP-1017-RU. Object Class. Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1017 is to be contained in a standard safe deposit box for valuable items in Unit 4 of Site 7. SCP-1017 is allowed to be moved using automated mechanical devices with electromagnetic grippers only. Programming of such devices is to be entrusted to specialists who do not have any information about the nature and anomalous features of SCP-1017. In particular, when describing the object to be transported, it is necessary to limit it only to reporting its location, its dimensions and materials from which it is made. Any other contacts with the object are prohibited. Description: SCP-1017 is a handicraft kitchen knife made of steel, with a wooden handle. It does not have any special external differences from other similar products. A more thorough study of the object has not been done yet due to the impossibility of guaranteed counteraction to the manifestation of its anomalous features. The specified feature of SCP-1017 is that any person or other primate who comes into contact with the object within several seconds begins to experience an irresistible desire to inflict numerous injuries on themselves, including death. Moreover, as was established during the course of the experiments, this feature manifests itself regardless of which part of the body the test subject was in contact with SCP-1017. Moreover, Incident 1017-S1 gives reason to believe that this effect can manifest itself remotely. At the same time, a fatal outcome does not occur as a result of the aforementioned wounds, but because of some other effect on the organism that is not less fatal in its consequences, but at the same time, causing the user to immediately satisfy physical, moral or other needs. The specific nature of the impact, apparently, depends on which particular need has the highest priority for the user. Addendum 1. Experiment Log 1017. Attention. The following document is not recommended to be read by employees who have difficulties with an objective and impartial perception of biological processes and descriptions of human anatomy. Researcher leading the protocol. 1. Senior pathologist and leading zoologist of Site 7, candidate of medical sciences, SH, data classified. 2. Leading psychologist of Site 7, candidate of psychological sciences, U, data classified. Test procedure. Subject is placed in an isolated chamber with SCP-1017 and then monitored for its behavior. Objective: to establish the conditions and limits for manifestation of anomalous features of SCP-1017. Experiment 1. Subject: adult male pant troglodytes, common chimpanzee, trained to handle small items. Result: the subject simply wandered around the chamber for a while, then came upon SCP-1017 and took it with his left back paw. After that, he began to chop off his fingers on the remaining limbs and swallow them, apparently, without experiencing pain. About 5 minutes after the start of this procedure, he fainted, during which his stomach greatly distended from the inside. Subject died without regaining consciousness. The autopsy showed that the cause of death was acute intestinal obstruction caused by overfilling of the stomach with a large number of undigested fruits, bananas. It should be noted that bananas were not previously included in his diet and, at the same time, the remains of swallowed fingers were not found anywhere in the digestive tract. Experiment 2. Subject: adult female pant troglodytes, common chimpanzee, female partner of the previous individual, also trained to handle small objects. Result: the subject almost immediately became interested in SCP-1017 and took it with her front left paw. After that she drove it into her inguinal region. She fainted about 3 minutes after this, her stomach also distended the inside. The subject died without regaining consciousness. The autopsy showed that the cause of death was too rapid development of pregnancy, which caused severe exhaustion and critical deformation of the internal organs. The fetus also died. It should be noted that at the time of the experiment there was no information about her fertilization. Experiment 3. Subject: D1730, male, 47 years old, convicted of multiple rapes. Result: subject, following instructions received, took SCP-1017 with his bare hand. After that, he began to inflict numerous punches with his fist in the groin area. Died within 5 minutes. The subsequent examination and autopsy showed that the cause of death was aortic rupture as a result of a sharp jump in blood pressure. At the same time, before death, the subject apparently experienced strong sexual satisfaction, orgasm, which is also confirmed by traces of abundant ejaculation found on the underwear and genitals. Experiment 4. Subject: D1654, male, 35 years old, convicted of homosexual violence. Result: subject, as instructed, received SCP-1017 with his gloved hand. After that, he took off the bottom of his clothes, including his underwear, and with several sharp chopping movements, he cut off his genitals. Died within 3 minutes. The subsequent examination and autopsy showed that, despite the severity of the wound received, the cause of death was not blood loss or pain shock, but injuries of the rectum, incompatible with life, inflicted, judging by their nature, by some large elongated object. Experiment 5. Subject. D1832, female, 24 years old, convicted of preparing a terrorist act. Result. The subject, dressed in a second-class protective suit, following instructions received, took SCP-1017 in a hand protected by an armored mitten, and then with one swift blow struck the suit, destroying both the suit and chest in the solar plexus. Then, an explosion occurred in the subject's body, as a result of which several fragments of the body, her skull and 8 vertebrae, broke through the armored glass in the ceiling of the chamber through which the experiment was monitored. 3 assistants were shell-shocked. Both leading researchers were not injured. Inspection of the camera by security officers and chemical analysis of the remains showed that an explosive based on nitroglycerin, weighing about 1,000 to 1,200 grams, was somehow formed and somehow detonated in the subject's body. Experiment 6. With Incident Report 1017-S1, Subject. D2347, male, 23 years old, convicted of creating malware and cyber terrorism. Result. This subject was selected due to his technical knowledge necessary for this experiment. As instructed, the subject, using a remotely controlled robot equipped with manipulators, placed SCP-1017 in a mechanical grip for transportation to the laboratory for physical research purposes. However, after the object was captured by the manipulator, the robot hit the subject with the blade of SCP-1017 at the base of the skull, striking the spinal cord, then opened his skull box, seized a brain, and placed it in the previously open dashboard, connecting it to several broken wires. After that, the robot data expunged, resulting in the death of data classified security personnel and data classified other personnel. The robot was successfully destroyed by security personnel. Experiment 7. With Incident Report 1017-S2, Subject. Dr. Yu, data classified. Result. This experiment was not authorized. Researcher, Dr. Yu, data classified, on her own initiative, taking advantage of temporary containment breach due to Incident 1017-S1, took possession of SCP-1017 and stabbed herself in the throat, cutting the carotid artery. A stream of blood, leaking under strong pressure, formed a cloud of unidentified gaseous matter, which began to rapidly spread through rooms. Surviving personnel were immediately evacuated from the laboratory. The compartment was sealed and cleaned by heat treatment. As subsequent studies of the found residues of the substance showed, it contained a previously unknown strain of the immunodeficiency virus that affects only carriers of the SRI gene. Addendum 2. SCP-1017, Recovery Log. In the period from Data Expunged to Data Expunged 2009, the Russian branch employees carried out a series of operational activities to search for mail items sent to the territory of the CIS countries by Marshall, Carter and Dark Limited. Information about these items was received from employees of the European branch, who, in turn, discovered it when they captured documentary registers of the specified corporation during Data Expunged. The object was taken from AP, Data Classified, a large Ukrainian industrialist who lost most of his business and reputation during the previous financial crisis. It should be noted that he did not have time to use the object due to the absence at that moment in the country due to the threat of criminal prosecution by law enforcement agencies. The object was packed in an armored container. Along with this object, an information card of the following content was discovered. Dear friend. We sincerely regret that our long cooperation is coming to an end and, as a sign of our deepest respect for you, we suggest using the special program of our club on a wonderful last journey. To do this, you just need to transfer £50,000 to our account Data Expunged, after which the necessary tool and our employee will be sent to help you use it correctly. Despite the unpresentable appearance, this glorious tool is able to make the completion of your life a true culmination. Warnings. Footnote 1. We inform you that after removing the instrument from the container, you will no longer be able to refuse this transaction. Footnote 2. The club has the right to withdraw the instrument after you achieve the desired result. Did you enjoy this translation? Share your opinion in comments.